Paul McCartney, of all people, talked me into buying a record. I don't know. I hate this stupid bar. That's something I just do not like about these. So this is Anatolian, Turkish, German funk. 6 LPs and 4 CDs for $70. You should definitely go get the Syl Johnson box set instead of this one. I have been lacking on this channel in the summer of 2025, trying to just enjoy life a little bit and also keep up with my kids. I've even had a lot of other video jobs as well, so that's been keeping me very busy. So things have been extremely crazy. I've really wanted to make separate videos about all of the vinyl that I'm about to talk about here, but at this point, I will never get to that. So here's a quick rundown of all the records that I picked up so far this summer. I want to start with new music from new artists in 2025 that you should be aware of, and you should be buying all of these records and following all these labels. And if you could only get certain records from this video, get these ones first. And they're also, just by chance, the cheapest ones, but only in price, not in quality. The first one of these is one of my all-time favorite bands. If you're not familiar with the Budos Band, they are one of the greatest bands of all time. They used to be on Daptone Records, and now they're on Diamond West Recordings, which is run by Tommy TNT Brennick, which is the guitarist and founding member of the band. And Diamond West Records has also produced other great stuff like Brazilian MPB artist Jose, and they have another, I think they have a record coming soon from the Shala Das, which was also a Daptone artist too. So lots of really great stuff coming on Diamond West Records. If you're not familiar with like what you're listening to with the Budos Band, basically think a cross between Afrobeat funk and Black Sabbath. If that appeals to you, you will absolutely love this band. And like, I mean, look at this album cover, man. It's super sick. It's got this like vibe of like Led Zeppelin. Like they're super huge Led Zeppelin fans too, so there's like a lot of that feeling into it too. This is their purple variant vinyl that comes out with this record, and along with their new record also released Escape from Tonda City on 7-inch vinyl. I got this in this awesome color variant. This is the first 7-inch that the Budos Band is put out so far on Diamond West record. The next one here, I'm going to absolutely murder this name. Derya Yildirim and group Simsek. Yaren Yaska. If there is no tomorrow is what Yaren Yaska means. Yaren Yaska is the name of the record. This is their debut record on Big Crown Records. It comes on this awesome lavender swirl, which is the C1 color on Big Crown Records. Derya Ildirm is a Turkish descent German musician based in Berlin with her band Simsek, in which she sings and plays the baglama. They've been releasing records previously on the Catapult record label and Bongo Joe since 2016. So this is Anatolian, Turkish, German funk. Specifically produced by Leon Michaels, who is coming out with a new record in 2025 from El Michaels Affair, another one of my all-time favorite bands along with the Budos Band. Another real sick thing about Big Crown Records is that they are producing all of their records now with cassettes, and they do these cassettes like straight up in the old style with like the red lettering, but they also have colored cassette shells on these as well, and this one's like an awesome purple to go along with the record itself. So I've been getting all of the cassettes that come out from the Big Crown stuff and all of the new artists that are coming out with them. So definitely go check out these guys. And we'll just keep it going on here with Big Crown Records. You should definitely check out Surprise Chef. This is their newest album, Superb. And these guys are an Australian funk group. So Big Crown is just going all over the globe trying to find amazing different groups and stuff like that, which I think is one of the coolest things that they do. Leon Michaels is just the man. And he just has a great, idea for what he wants to do, and these guys fit right into that idea. I love this album cover. Very cool, like graphic and artwork and everything. Plus, it came on Coke Bottle Green vinyl for their C1 edition, so anything that comes on Coke Bottle Green vinyl, I immediately buy. And like I mentioned too, these guys also came out with a cassette version. This was a white shell cassette, like super old school looking. Everything with the old school looking fonts and stuff like that from these cassettes are super awesome. They have other albums out there too. This is their second album out on Big Crown Records, but I do know they released, I think, 2 other albums prior to that in Australia. Now, going along with the promo editions here, this one is the promo edition of Leroi Conroy, A Tiger's Tale. They come with these awesome promo write-ups and everything, and they talk about all the stuff that's in them. I'll read here a little bit about the LP. Steeped in equal parts golden age hip-hop sensibilities and lost 60s and 70s film scores, the debut LP from Leroi Conroy weighs in heavy and has been years in the making. Now, who is Leroi Conroy? Leroi Conroy is actually Terry Cole, who is the owner of Coal Mine Records. And so he produced, plays on, and I think, developed everything with this record. But this record is his debut album, I guess, under his moniker Leroi Conroy, and it is absolutely sick. This stuff has been sampled by DJ Premier, Raekwon, Ghostface Killah, Macklemore, Fantagram, and more. So this stuff is very well known in the hip hop world, and it is extremely good. I was not fast enough in getting the main color variant, so I'm still on the lookout for that one. But I love having these promo editions. You can also get these promo editions from Discogs. They show up eventually on Discogs, so keep your eye out for them, because they're hot off the press, so you're getting a true promo edition with these. But on top of that, they're a little bit cheaper, so you can get these a lot cheaper. And they also have a cool, this one has a different, white promo edition coal mine label on them, which is very cool. So definitely go get this one if you see it out there on the shelves. It's definitely worth buying. Now, 2025 is shaping up to be a very interesting year because we have this, which is the 20th anniversary of Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings. And then we're also getting an El Michaels Affair LP. And we got a Budos Band LP. As a super fan of Daptone and the Daptone Recording Company, I am just I feel like it's, 2014 all over again. And we're getting new records from all of my favorite artists. But unfortunately, this is not a new record from Sharon Jones because Sharon Jones left us way too soon in 2016. This is Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings Naturally, and this is the 20th anniversary edition, which is great because they concluded a second LP on this, which is all the instrumentals of this record. It comes on this awesome splatter orange vinyl, which again is super cool because when the label started out, they only put out stuff in black vinyl. So a lot of all the early Sharon Jones records, you don't have colored vinyl on. See, nowadays, anything that they put out, they'll put out a colored version and a black version. But back then they only did the black versions. And so now you can get this awesome gatefold jacket just like they did originally, and it is just magnificent. So it's also remastered too. Hearing this in a remastered way kind of gives it an audiophile feel a little bit. So if you get a chance, definitely go check this one out. I bought a lot of records this summer, so we're going to make sure that we try to get through this a little quickly. I have been absolutely infatuated with this Cuban Classics series from Mr. Bongo Records. I have two of the records from this series that I didn't realize this was a series for, but I got the Los Reyes 75 and I got the Juan Pablo Torres Super Son. Both absolutely amazing records, and they're both from this Arieto record label that was from Cuba with all of these awesome, Cuban artists and stuff like that. So if you're into any kind of really great funk, Cuban samba type stuff, you're gonna really like these. This one, FA5, as well as this one, which is Juan Almeida Fantasia. And there's, I think, 9 total in the series. And so I think I have 4, and I want to get all of them. If you're interested in any of this kind of stuff, definitely go check it out. This Cuban Classic series is really, really great. Another one that I had to pick up, I'm super excited about the new Rhino Reserve series and the pressing plant that comes along with them, and, all the pressing that comes along with it. I definitely picked up the Baby Huey, the Living Legend. If you're not familiar with any of this, which I was not that familiar that this was mostly Curtis Mayfield and Curtis Mayfield's band, but it's Curtis Mayfield produced and mostly his group that plays on it. And then this guy sings on a few of these records. This guy had a very short-lived career right around the time of Mama Cass and a couple other people in the 60s and 70s. This originally came out in 1971, but this is the Rhino Reserves edition. And again, if you're into anything from Curtis Mayfield, you're going to love this record. So I have been on a kind of boogie funk tangent recently this summer. This one here is Sho-Nuff Body Pressure, and this is the reissue from We Want Sounds Records, which is like a Japanese record label, and I got this one from the In-Groove Records. I did take off their price sticker, by the way. This is a fantastic record. I think it was originally released on Constellation Records, but like, I mean, it just kicks so much butt. A lot of the boogie funk stuff is very sought after right now and is extremely hard to find and extremely expensive. So it's great that they reissued this one. Awesome funk stuff that you've never heard before from the 80s with like great 80s production, and some of it is real sick. Some of it does fall into the avenue of like smooth jazz or maybe even some like disco a little bit too, but you got to sift through that to get to some of the gems. This one here, pretty much start to finish, has like awesome music all the way through. So many good tracks on this record. A lot of people have been talking about the, you know, the reissues of this Strata East label, and I'm just going to join them with it. This is Charles Rouse from the Strata East label, 2 is 1. This originally came out in 1974. This record here, one of the sickest records I own now. Like I've listened to this record like at least 7 times since I've gotten it. It is so good. It is just a great cross between jazz and, I mean, this is a true jazz funk record because you have like such awesome hard grooves with it, but also some great jazz playing, and just, you know, they're stretching some boundaries here with this thing. The record itself sounds amazing. They're doing some great stuff with this new Strata East reissue label with all of these gatefolds. I mean, this is basically, you're basically getting a Tone Poet here. This is a Tone Poet record, and it sounds absolutely amazing. You're getting it all AAA mastered and everything like that. So go check out any of the stuff from Strata East. So we're going to just keep moving along here pretty quickly and just go through a bunch of the records that I got. Kenny Burrell with Art Blakey, 3 LP set, very similar to the Sonny Rollins that was done from Tone Poet as well. This thing is amazing. Get it on sale. I got mine on sale on Amazon, I think on Amazon Prime Day or something like that, or Complete Masters from the 5 spot, Kenny Burrell. I love jazz guitar, and Kenny Burrell is one of my favorite, so this is a great record to have. Moving right along, we have the 2 new original jazz classics, OJCs, of Interplay from Bill Evans as well as Moonbeams from Bill Evans. If you're a fan of Bill Evans or the Bill Evans Trio, you'll love both of these records. They're both worth owning. All of the stuff from OJC is worth owning, so I'm not going to talk too much time about it. We all know that these things are great. I got both of them, and I love both of them. If you want to hear more about it, let me know in the comments below. This is an amazing reissue from a super hard to find record. This is the Lijadu Sisters, Danger. This is Nigerian Afro-funk, and this is the variation that was this like weird color swirl that also came with a 7-inch as well, and the 7-inch is super cool too. But if you like any type of like Afro-funk or Afro-psych type stuff, any of the stuff from like that Zamrock collection or anything like that, you'll absolutely love this. Or if you're interested in like Fela Kuti stuff, it's 2 girls that are singing on this, but this is a reissue from Numero Records. I believe it's pronounced Numero, and Numero has me down a complete rabbit hole right now with a bunch of other stuff. I do plan on making a full video about this. This is the Syl Johnson Complete Mythology box set from Numero Records. This thing is absolutely amazing, but this is a very, very complete set of Syl Johnson's career. It's not every single thing that Syl Johnson ever produced. There's a couple records from High Records that are not in this box set. The reason why I'm going to make a separate video about this box set is the greatest value box set I think you could ever possibly buy. It comes with 6 LPs with their separate jackets, as well as 4 CDs and a huge booklet as well. And the CDs come in this really awesome gatefold jacket as well. This is not currently for sale from Numero Records. I believe it's sold out if you actually go to their website. However, it's another great thing about this set is you can go to Discogs, and I got this brand new for $70. 6 LPs and 4 CDs. And it comes in this beautiful box as well. This is one of the best deals in vinyl out there today. And you're also getting, you know, what I think is one of the criminally overlooked soul artists of the world, which is Syl Johnson. If you're into like Al Green, or if you're into that kind of stuff, the kind of music that was on High Records, or if you know anything about Twilight Records, Syl Johnson is basically just, he is that. So definitely go check this out if you're interested at all in getting an amazing box set for a super amazing value. I've been trying to complete this entire Eccentric Soul series. And so when I got that Syl Johnson box set, I also got this Twilight's Lunar Rotation. The Eccentric Soul series from Numero is basically a series that features record labels from across the country that you've never heard of, that I don't know why you've never heard of them, and I don't know why their information never got out there. But some of this stuff is the greatest music I've ever heard. This stuff is up there with Stax Records or Motown, or, these are all soul labels across the country. That's where the Numero group comes in and finds all of these labels, and they do such an amazing job with these collections. This one here is Twilight's Lunar Rotation. Now, we just talked about Syl Johnson. Syl Johnson basically did a lot to push Twilight Records out there. Twilight is an amazing label that had a ton of singles and 45s out there. Awesome soul music. This is a collection of basically all of the singles from Twilight's entire catalog, and it comes with 4 LPs with separate jackets for the LPs. I have a few of the Eccentric Soul series, but this summer, between Plaid Room Records sale that they had for the summer sale, and then finding a bunch also on sale from Numero Group as well, I have bought a ton of these, and you're going to see them now. So I can't sit here and show all of these records right now, but I'll go through real quick and just give a little bit of a highlight of some of them, because some of these are just amazing, and these are labels that you've just never heard of before. But the first one here is the Shoestring label, which is amazing boogie funk. This one here might be one of my favorites out of this entire group. I've been blown away by how good this record is. My hope is that by like the end of 2025 or maybe 26, I can have all of them and make a video showing all of them, make like a massive video showing all of them. But I'm just going to go through a bunch of them here. This is Sadia Records. This is the Tammy label. This one here is the Shiptown label. This is the Kuka label. This one here is Cobra Records. This has Wooly Bully on it. There's like a lot of 50s style soldies stuff. This is a very awesome soldies record. I love the name Cobra Records. This is like one of the sickest names ever. This one here is also another of my all-time favorites of this collection, Consolidated Productions. A lot of the stuff on here sounds like Motown. It sounds like Marvin Gaye on this. There is some really, really good soul stuff on this. And this one might have the absolute sickest color record. I was blown away with the color of the vinyl on this record. And this is a beautiful 2 LP collection with an awesome gatefold jacket. And I think it was like $25. And I'm pretty sure also that it was on sale for like $19. This one here is the Saru label, and I got this one on Walmart for like $15. Now, you got to go to walmart.com. You'll never find this in a Walmart store, but I got it on sale on walmart.com for $15, and this is a 2 LP set, and it's amazing. And then we have the Dynamic label. The Dynamic label is very similar to the Cobra label if you're into like soldies type stuff. And this is the Traeger and Note label, and this is one of like the original Eccentric Soul, because I think these originally started coming out in like 2004 or 2005, and I think these all used to come out on CDs back then, and then slowly but surely they started making LPs of them, and now they're coming out with these reissue LPs on awesome color variants, which is what I've been picking up. I almost forgot these two as well that I picked up, but all of the other ones are all like centered around a specific label, as I mentioned, but then they also have these collections where it's centered around the genre itself. So they have like Deep Soul and they have Northern Soul, and then they have these ones here. These are the two newest ones. This one's Modern Soul, and then they have Boogie. And the Boogie one, again, like just sick boogie funk. And again, leave it up to Numero Group to be able to find some of the sickest boogie funk out there. And like, look, the only boogie record you'll ever need to own. So if you need to figure out what boogie funk is, or if you want to know what boogie funk is, go and get this one. Here we are. I have finally bought my very first MOFI edition. I do not own any Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab records. This is my first Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab record. Everyone swears up and down that Abraxas on MOFI is like the greatest thing ever, the 45. And so I was never going to pay thousands of dollars for that record. But I did recently get that on cassette. And so getting it on cassette, I was reminded about how awesome this record is. The cover here is totally sick. This is the same guy that does the covers for the Miles Davis, Bitches Brew, and stuff like that. And I really cannot stand this bar that they put up here, but I do like the fact that they try to kind of sort of match the colors from the records, but I don't know. I hate this stupid bar. That's something I just do not like about these. What I do know is this record sounds great. It is on the super vinyl. It sounds phenomenal. It's great because the super vinyl is super quiet, and you're never going to find this record in this condition brand new, like from the 70s or whatever. Along with this one, I got my second MOFI record. Now, this one is not a true original MOFI, like see if the original master recording, right? That one says original master recording. This is the cheaper silver label one, which I believe means that I think on side 2 or something like that, there was like digital tracks used to make it. Again, I don't really care why I bought this, is because this record actually has a very special place in my heart. I got a collection of records when I first started collecting, like 5 or 6 records, and this was in there. So I consider this to be the first record I ever got on vinyl. Even though there were like 5 or 6 records, there's like an Allman Brothers record in there too, but I listened to this one the most, and the copy that I had, the vinyl, was horrible. It was the worst piece of vinyl ever. It was one of those, I think it was one of those records that was made in the 70s to save on PVC or something, because like it would droop. I mean, it was so thin, but I would listen to it constantly because I loved the music on this record. This is one of the sickest albums of all time. I think it's probably Santana's best record, I think, personally. Like, I love every track on this record, and I think it sounds amazing here. This is a great presentation of it. You probably could find one of the originals out there, but this was $30, so I got it while I was getting the other one, and I thought it would be cool. This is the Wilson Pickett, Exciting Wilson Pickett. This is the Analog Productions A75 edition, and it sounds amazing. I actually listened to this record going into it thinking it was going to sound bad because I was reading some reviews on it, and it sounded really, really good to me. Now, I clean all my records ultrasonically before I play them, so maybe that has a lot to do with it. A lot of people were saying that they heard a lot of pops and clicks on this and that it wasn't a clean edition from the A75 stuff, but I thought it sounded fantastic, and so I was very happy to have some awesome audiophile soul music. This is a fantastic Rhino Hi-Fi edition, and I think it's one of the most underrated ones out there. This is the Faces Ooh La La, or Faces Ooh La La. Now, apparently the original of this had like movable eyes or something like that from the original jacket. This one just has, you know, a very beautiful, awesome gatefold, and it comes with your standard stuff from, you know, the Rhino Hi-Fi editions. But this record sounds great. I never heard this record before, and so I like Faces, and I don't have many of their records, and I especially like early Rod Stewart stuff. I like his voice when he was very young, and he's on this record, and it sounds great. And this is the numbered edition, and I'm pretty sure the numbered edition is still out there because this one's not like flying off the shelves. But I'm going to probably do a video in the future of like underrated like Rhino Hi-Fis that people need to check out, because I think this is definitely one of them. I don't really hear a lot of people talking about it. Paul McCartney, of all people, talked me into buying a record. Now, I heard an interview with him talking about Brian Wilson right after Brian Wilson passed, and I don't know if it was a new interview or if it was from a past interview where he was just talking about Pet Sounds. But he said, if you're a record collector, this is one of the definitive albums that you should own in your collection. And he specifically said that you should listen to it from start to finish with headphones on at nighttime. And so I had never done that before with this record. I've only heard, the main hits off of this record. I've never listened to this record start to finish before. And so I thought it'd be fitting to get it in this beautiful mono edition from Analog Productions, 45 RPM vinyl, and everything's cut from real master tapes, and they give you lots of really cool extras with it too. So this is definitely one that I got. I bought this specifically because Brian Wilson passed, and I thought it'd be fitting to have this. And what better of a time to get it than in summer of 2025, right? It's a summer record from the Beach Boys, right? Also, there was one other thing that I got. I got this box set, but I'll be honest with you. You should definitely go get the Syl Johnson box set instead of this one. In fact, you should go get all of the records that I talked about in this video over this. And if you bought all of the records that I talked about in this video, you would still probably save like $200 or $300 versus just the list price of this versus getting it on the used market or whatever. The couple things I will talk about with this. Yes, my White Album did come with a messed up jacket, and that does suck, especially for how much you're paying for this. There it is. We have the Beatles in mono now. Now I don't have to look at Beatles records when I go into a place and get them. So that's that. Okay, so the summer is not over, and I probably will end up getting some more records before the end of the summer. Again, if you're interested in any of the records that I mentioned here and you want to hear more about them, let me know in the comments below. You should definitely spend more time with the beginning part of this video with those new artists and the new records that have come out versus the stuff at the end of the video, which is all just like reissues of stuff that's been out for years and years. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you're probably gonna like this video or some of the other videos that are on this channel. Go watch those today. It really is the best way that you can support this channel is just watching more of the videos on the channel. That would be awesome. If you tell your friends about it too, that's great too. Have a great day. I'm going to go listen to some records. I will see you on the next one.